What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're gonna love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What's going on, everybody? It's KB and DJ coming at you with an update on the 2024 Paris Olympic Games for the Light the Flame podcast right here on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network for all the happenings on Sunday, July 28th from Paris. Deej, it was another eventful day of the Olympic Games. Day 2 pretty much in the books now as we draw towards midnight here in the States. Everything all concluded over in Paris in real time. But we got one of the best Olympians of all time back out there doing her thing, Simone Biles. She shows her grit in the Olympic qualies today and, gets going. She finishes atop the leaderboard in the women's gymnastic qualification round for her Paris debut. And, if she is one of those athletes when it comes to the Olympics and just in general, that whenever she steps out onto her respective, stage, she just dazzles time and time again. And even in those moments in the past when she was going through her struggles, you just knew she was the type of athlete that was going to break out of it and be the rock star that she is. And she just continues to dazzle and be an anchor for that U.S. gymnastics team.
I mean, it's almost one of those things where we know exactly what we're going to get with her. Um, she continues to pull off moves that really nobody else in the world can pull off. It's one of those positions where we're just like, okay, what crazy thing are we going to see from Simone Biles when she steps on the mat this time? And we're all just like praying and holding our breath she doesn't get hurt, because that's like the only thing that's going to keep her from a gold medal.
And it felt like she was dealing with a lower leg injury today and still able to dazzle and finish atop the leaderboard. And it's like, even when she's down, she's never truly out and still is able to step up, when her name is called and performs at the highest level. And she is like one of those, she has the clutch gene when it comes to, your major four sports, when it's like, oh, the game is on the line. Who do I want stepping up to the plate? Who do I want closing out a game, coming out of the bullpen? Who do I want taking that clutch three for my basketball team? What wide receiver do I want to throw it to in the NFL? Who do I want taking that penalty shot on the ice in hockey? Simone Biles is that type of athlete where in any moment for this U.S. gymnastics team, if they need somebody to step up, you're like, all right, let's get Simone in, because we know that she's capable of doing it. And not that anybody else on that U.S. gymnastics team isn't capable, because they are one of the most talented rosters, top to bottom, of any Olympic sport from any country. But Simone is just different. She has that it factor and that clutch gene all in one. And I'm excited to watch her continue to put on a show in Paris. Knowing that this was just the qualifying round, I know she's got so much more in store for us, and she's going to put on a show for France.
I mean, it's only the beginning. With a lot of those kind of, sports, the qualifying rounds are really showcasing what we should expect. Gymnastics is going to continue to be exciting. Like you said, lower leg thing. Hope that's kind of just like some tightness, some soreness, something she's able to kind of stretch out, roll out thing this tonight, and she's able to get back out there and kind of keep being herself. But like you said, the rest of the team's talented too. So, if she was not to come back, they would be just fine, but it would still put a damper on the event. But you look across, swimming, skateboarding, and some of these other qualifying events, people are really starting to make waves.
Yeah, and this round served as a qualifier for the team final, all-around final, and individual event finals. Simone Biles, the 23-time world champion, is the favorite to win her second all-around Olympic title in Paris, a feat only two female gymnasts have ever achieved, that being Larissa Latinina and Vera Kaslavska.
Do you have a regular iPhone charger?
No.
Why are you yelling?
Get out. People don't knock anymore.
I hate it. I feel you. I feel your pain. But Simone Biles, 23-time world champion. That is a crazy number to even voice. She's the favorite to win her second all-around Olympic title in Paris, and it's a feat only two female gymnasts have ever achieved, so she could become the third, which would be spectacular to watch. And we'll see how things continue to play out there. And defending all-around champion Suni Lee delivered a stellar routine on the uneven bars to secure her spot in the all-around final. And Tokyo silver medalist Jade Carey, she will not have the chance to defend her floor title after making several uncharacteristic mistakes throughout her routine. And 16-year-old Hesley Rivera, who is the youngest member of the entire U.S. Olympic team in Paris, contributed scores of 13.900 on uneven bars and 12.633 on beam. And the U.S. women will compete in the team final on Tuesday, July 30th at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Get your DVRs ready because a lot of us will be at work, but prime time, it'll be ready to rock and roll. Very excited for that. Deej, we'll move to one of your favorite just sports in general, but one of your favorite Olympic sports. It's time to hoop. U.S. men's basketball. Balling out today. Kevin Durant, welcome back to the Slim Reaper. They began their run to a fifth straight gold medal with a game against Serbia, led by obviously three-time NBA MVP and Denver Nuggets superstar Nikola Jokic. But Kevin Durant, who missed camp, missed the exhibition games due to a calf injury, got cleared right before game time to play. It's like he never missed time. 23 total points, no missed shots in the first half. That's what we call easy money sniper, Kevin Durant.
I mean, he started the game. That's probably one of the best starts Olympic basketball has ever seen. Not just Team USA, but all of the Olympics, all international ball. He was absolutely on fire in the first half, pouring in 21. How do you even go about making adjustments to that? Hey, we're going to divert all our attention to Kevin Durant. You can't do that.
You can't.
When LeBron James, Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, Bam Adebayo, Anthony Davis are all on this team plus more.
Devin Booker,
Jason Tatum didn't even play the first half.
Yeah, I was gonna say
at all.
I did want to bring up that Steve Kerr said he felt like an idiot for not playing him.
Because how do you forget to play Jason Tatum? But then you look at who else was playing and how well they were playing, and you're like, okay, I could see how they forget to play Jason Tatum. It's insane to say Team USA doesn't have to play Jason Tatum, who just won an NBA championship this year.
There was a hilarious tweet that said, Jason Tatum, I finally am getting the respect I deserve after winning a title. And then it was LeBron James, pass me my water and towel.
Literally, he was just keeping it warm. That's insane.
And I mean, despite a slow start, they finished with a convincing 110-84 win over Serbia. 5 Americans in double figures and a 62% mark from the field. And obviously, for everybody at home who may not know, FIBA rules and Olympic basketball rules a little bit different than the NBA, but still relatively similar for you to follow along with it. It's not like a drastic change, but there are some rule changes and a little bit of differentiation there. But a very convincing win against a Serbia team that always kind of feels like they're in the mix. Obviously, when you have somebody like Jokic, it's tough to not be in the mix because he is such a unicorn of a player. But to go and win, 110-84 is pretty damn good and a great start for Team USA on their journey to a 5th straight gold. They return to action on Wednesday, July 31st against South Sudan, who gave them a little bit of trouble earlier this month in the qualifying, or was it prelims? I guess that would be classified as.
Yeah. Well, those were all. Yeah, I guess prelim exhibitions. Exhibitions.
1 by 1 point there. So they'll have a bit of a sour taste, I would say, in terms of Team USA basketball in their mouths as they get set to play South Sudan on Wednesday. But any other final thoughts from Team USA's big win against Serbia, Deej?
I mean, LeBron is still the king of the world when it comes to basketball, proving that at 39 years old in the Olympics, leading Team USA consistently with his play. 21 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists in a game like today, where that wasn't really needed from him, to win this game, but when you get that from him, you win by almost 30, right? And I think this game, especially with this being their opening game of qualifying round and getting ready for medal round, they proved like, hey, yeah, did we almost lose to South Sudan? Was our game against Germany a little too close? Like they had some exhibitions that were close. This first game out was, hey, Team
We're
USA
still Team
basketball
USA.
is here to win a gold medal because that's what we do. And they proved like, hey, it doesn't matter who's on the other side. We can beat you by 30. We can beat you by 40 if that's what we want to do. So I thought that was a very good statement for Team USA to make as far as basketball. Like, yeah, our men's team has struggled a little bit, but we're still here for business.
It's still pretty crazy to me, too, looking at the roster and realizing that this is Steph Curry's first Olympics.
Yep. But when you look, I was talking to somebody else about this, but like when you look back at like when he's been in the league, you've had Jason Kidd and Steve, or not Steve Nash, Jason Kidd and Chris Paul,
Carmelo,
Derrick Rose, D Wade, Kobe, like the guard play over the last 12 years while he's been in the league has not afforded him an opportunity to be on Team USA,
which is wild
also
to just think of the state of NBA guard play.
Exactly. When he's been at the top for what, 6 years now, and he just still hasn't been able to crack this roster. That's how hard it is to play Olympic basketball for Team USA.
He's been in dominant fashion in the NBA for a decade now.
Easy. And you're just now getting him into Olympic ball. So for all the Caitlin Clark people out there, Angel Reese people that think that they should just be on Team USA, there's a good reason why. It takes time to get to that level. Playing Olympic and international basketball is the pinnacle of basketball for both men and women. Is the NBA great? Yes, but there's differences about Olympic and international ball because sure, it's a big deal to play for USA, but when you're playing basketball for these other countries, it is a huge deal, and they take that so serious that it inflates the level of play so much.
I also love the story that Steph and Ayesha Curry planned their most recent pregnancy around the Olympics so that Ayesha would not go into labor while in France. They were like, we planned this out. We made sure that, it was going to be a time where we were still stateside and still home. And that way there was no complications or any issues with Steph going to France and missing the birth of the baby and everything. So they made sure that Steph's first Olympics was going to be as flawless as possible in terms of getting there and being a part of Team USA. So good to see Steph in the Olympics for the first time. Moving to cycling, American Haley Batten won silver in the women's mountain biking final, claiming the United States' best ever finish in mountain biking, men or women, and first medal overall since Georgia Gold's bronze in 2012. That's pretty impressive. Like when you think about just the grand scheme of like Team USA and different sports in the Olympics, sure, cycling and mountain biking isn't necessarily the oldest sport in the Olympics, but when you think about just like the talent that we're able to produce and like the way that, us growing up mountain biking, that was one of the cool things to do. When you got that mongoose bike for the first time, you felt like you were king or queen of the world. And it felt like one of those things, kind of like skateboarding and, BMX and everything. Mountain biking was like that next extreme sport type thing. So pretty cool to see Haley Batten winning silver and claiming the best ever finish. And now the only place to go is to gold. Batten remained in contention through 3 laps, but on the 4th lap, her bike tire flattened on the rock portion of the race. The time it took for her to repair the tire caused her to fall to 8th, but she closed the gap on the 5th lap to battle back for a 2nd place finish. So overcoming adversity, Team USA is in mountain biking. Pauline Ferrand-Prévot from France takes gold. Haley Batten takes silver for the U.S. And Jenny Rissveds takes bronze for Sweden in the final there for mountain biking. So congrats to Team USA, a silver medal there and an Olympic first for Team USA. We move to some action in the pool. Team USA has been hot in the pool, Deej, and it makes my little former swimmer heart happy, as we like to call ourselves swammers. American swimmer Tori Husk won her first individual gold medal in the women's 100 butterfly on Sunday, and she had to chase down her teammate and pre-race favorite Gretchen Walsh, who was just an absolute dog to do it. Husk won the final in 55.59 seconds, besting Walsh by 0.04. She's the first American since Dana Vollmer in 2012 to win gold in the women's 100-meter butterfly. To put it in perspective, to go 55.59 in long course meters is diabolical. That is an insane time. And like myself as a former 100 butterflyer, my sister as a 100 butterflyer at the collegiate level as well, will attest. That is insane. Dana Vollmer is like a legend when it comes to the 100 butterfly for Team USA. And to finally get another gold in that event is awesome. And for Tori to chase down Gretchen Walsh and beat her by 0.04, like, we'll get to it in a moment because there was a photo finish bang bang tie in the men's 100 breaststroke today as well. But that is just like one small thing you do in that race helps you win by 0.04, whether it's not taking a breath, off of your turn, or fully hitting your turn and not hitting a toe turn, or missing the wall off the turn. Like, it's such a minute little thing. It's one extra kick off of your start. There's so many little nuances that lead to you being able to finish that way. And that's just such an impressive win. And Team USA to go 1-2 in the 100-meter butterfly is pretty awesome. So another big win there. And Zhang Yufei from China takes bronze. And the United States going 1-2 in the women's 100-meter butterfly for the third time in history. They joined Shelley Mann and Nancy Ramey in 1956, as well as Mary T. Mager and Jenna Johnson in 1984 in taking the top two podium spots. So more history, more accolades there for Team USA. The bang bang moment that I was talking about in the pool was in the men's 100-meter breaststroke today. I want to pull up the actual tweet here that SportsCenter put out. It's crazy if SportsCenter is tweeting out, these high detail graphics of an event happening. It's even cooler for me because I know one of the people involved in this. Nic Fink, who is Team USA men's captain, is from South Jersey. Swam at a private school that was in our state championships year over year. And Nic Fink is an absolute dog. He's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet as well. But he finished in a bang bang photo finish in the men's 100-meter breaststroke today, and took silver. So it's a double silver podium, which is unreal. Nick's also, he's a former Georgia Bulldog. He's a full-time engineer. He's 31 years old. He's the oldest first-time American medalist since 1904. And in a few weeks, he'll become a first-time dad. So shout out to my guy, Nic Fink. Just super cool to see that happen. And to see an Olympic tie in any event is rare. I feel like swimming is the one where, like, you'd see it happen more often than not. But Nic Fink and Adam Peaty go down to the wire and finish bang bang for second place. But the first place finish, Nicolo Martin Engi, I apologize for butchering that, from Italy, goes 59.03, Deej, to win the 100-meter breaststroke. Adam Peaty from Great Britain and Nic Fink, obviously from Team USA, go 59.05. So a 0.02 separation from gold to the two silvers. And not far behind was Melvin Imodu from Germany, who went 59.11. It was an insane 100-meter breaststroke final. Nobody went over a minute. Everything was sub 1 minute in lanes 1 through 8. It was an incredible final. But to get that photo finish there was insane. So Team USA capturing another historic silver medal there. And South Jersey, baby. SOUF, South Jersey on the map and on the podium over there in Paris. We had history in the women's individual foil in fencing as Lee Kiefer and Lauren Scruggs became the first Americans to compete against one another in the gold medal match. Kiefer became only the third woman to successfully defend her Olympic gold medal in this event when she ultimately won 15-6. She joins Marielle Zagunis in 2004 and 2008 as the only two American women to win multiple fencing gold medals. Both Zagunis' golds came in the women's individual saber. Kiefer is married to Garrick Meinhardt, who will compete for the U.S. in the men's individual on Monday, July 29th. Meinhardt took to social media to congratulate his better half on the epic win. He said, "My incredible wife is a back-to-back Olympic champion. Words can't express how proud I am of her. I knew she could do it. She knew she could do it, but actually doing the damn thing, and moreover, doing it 2 times in 2 completely different environments, ... And it's a photo of her giving him a big old smooch with the medal around his neck on the cheek. So, again, more history as Team USA takes gold and silver in the individual foil in fencing. Eleanor Harvey from Canada takes the bronze. And Deej, your girl, Coco Gauff, doing the damn thing. Doing the damn thing. She won in straight sets in the first round on Sunday. And she is the obvious reigning U.S. Open champion. She'll face Argentina's Lourdes Carl in her round 2 singles match. Deej, I'll let you wax poetic about Coco Gauff in just a moment, but I want to talk about our friends who are helping bring you Light the Flame and Olympics podcast. And those are our pals over at Shopify. Shopify is the leading commerce and e-commerce brand out there to help get your storefront and your business going and booming into the green. They started their business on their own. It was a self-started operation so that they could sell snowboards on their own because no other commerce website was doing it to the ability that they felt was necessary. And now Shopify is the #1 global commerce and e-commerce brand. Whether you're selling things online or in person, they are the place to go to. If you're a YouTuber and you have merch, you should be using Shopify to sell your merch through your YouTube channel and the YouTube Partner Program. They are simply the best. So elevate your commerce and e-commerce, get your business going in the right direction, and join Shopify. Get started. Click the link in the description and get your Shopify storefront going. You see that green bag anywhere. It's one of the most iconic logos out there. Shopify is simply the best. So click that link, get your business booming into the green with Shopify. And we thank Shopify for powering our Olympics coverage all summer long. Deej, how stoked are you to watch Coco Gauff just do her thing? She is kind of in that similar vein of Simone Biles, where like she's still so young that she's like on that start, but like you can feel that she is like that next heiress.
So for Coco, it's a cultural thing, right? A lot of the excitement around Coco is that she's simply kind of just replacing Serena and Venus. She came in right as Serena's career was truly taking a dip. Like Venus had her start and like really got Serena like a platform. Venus came in, started playing really well as the older sister, kind of set the pace, and then here comes Serena and she kind of just trailblazes that. And Coco Gauff has just like stepped in right behind her. It reminds me a lot of when you're on like Mario Kart or like Forza, Need for Speed, and you're following someone, and if you're in their track line, they give you a boost. It's kind of like that same thing where like Coco has come in right behind their track line, and it's like speed, like steadfast, and has made her transition to stardom so much faster. It's kind of like she had a roadmap, and it's like, boom, you do it this way, and you just go boom, 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 and she's followed that, and it's taken her to the top so quickly.
It's awesome.
So watch. even if she doesn't win any medals here, the framework of what her career is going to be has already been set, and there's a reason she was a USA flag bearer. That's how I see it. and she's going to continue to prove why she was a flag bearer this year.
100%. I'm excited to watch her continue to do her thing and hopefully, progress through, and hopefully she has that gold around her neck at the end of the day. Moving right along to another one of my more entertaining Olympic sports, and that is volleyball, both men and women. But the U.S. women's volleyball stars Kelly Cheng and Sarah Hughes opened their Olympic campaign with a dominant win in straight sets over Marie Sarah Stochlova and Barbara Ermanova with the Eiffel Tower looking on. DJ, I think one of these episodes that we do, probably one of our live episodes, I want us to all just conjure up some of the best locations in Olympic history for just sports in general, because this Eiffel Tower setup for volleyball is one of the coolest, most unique, and like, what a perfect way to showcase your city with your most iconic, recognizable monument, and having volleyball going on with the Eiffel Tower right in the background. It's one of the coolest things that France has done for the Olympics. Cheng and Hughes went on a 5-point run at the end of the first set to take the early lead, and the 2023 world champions carried the momentum into the second set, and they will face off against France on Wednesday, July 31st. I love volleyball. It's like so entertaining to watch. Like, I think it's because it's so, and this is no slight to the sport, it's just like basic. Like, it is just like watching a ball going back and forth. It's very like Pong-esque, but like the way that once the ball is in the air and you see just like the athlete's brains turning to kind of be in position for where that ball is going to land is so awesome to watch. Some other highlights here. Team USA's men's water polo team lost to Italy in its Paris Olympics opener. Japan's number 2 ranked table tennis mixed doubles team was upset, Deej, by North Korea 4-1 in the first round at the Paris Olympics, losing the chance to retain the country's gold medal.
That was
Crazy.
huge. No, that was huge. I watched those highlights, and it was almost pure domination. Like, there were very few points where you felt like Japan was starting to gain any kind of momentum to come back. And as soon as you did, boom, here comes North Korea with a couple more things that just every time of a long volley went North Korea's way, you could see it kind of just taking more out of Japan. Like, that's the tough thing about table tennis that like people don't realize is it's very similar to tennis, badminton, volleyball, where you have these long volleys, and every time you don't win a long volley, you feel it because like you're just like, dang, I just put in all that work to not get that point. And granted, it's only 1 point, but when that starts to stack up and you lose 3, 4, 5 long volleys, and it may not be in a row, but you lose that volley, and then there's 3 straight short ones, and then you lose another long one. There's 2 short ones, you lose another long one. Like, that gets at you because you're like, okay, now I feel like every volley has to be short, and then you start making mistakes, or you get into a long volley and you're like, fuck, here we go again. Like, I'm gonna lose this volley because it's going so long. So it's a mental thing that really Japan couldn't get out of. And a lot of that is credit to North Korea and being able to compose themselves in those long volleys and continue to win them.
Slovenia, their women's handball team, captured their first win in team history when it defeated South Korea today. Rafael Nadal defeated Hungary's Martin Fucsovics in a 3-set stunner. He's going to face off against Novak Djokovic next in a wild round 2 matchup. You want to talk about our childhood of tennis and just our upbringing in men's professional tennis. It's Rafael Nadal, it's Djokovic, and obviously Roger Federer when he was still active and playing. Those were the big 3. Those were the big dogs on campus. When they were playing, you sat down and watched tennis. You watched it happen. Like, that was the sport that you knew it was a big deal if it was going to be on the Sports Center rundown, because those 3 were putting in work. And now for the final time, this is Rafael Nadal's kind of like swan song. We're going to get him versus Novak Djokovic in the Olympics. Like, that is like, get your popcorn ready. It's going to be absolute scenes to watch in a round 2, no less.
And thank you to the ILC and tennis higher ups there for definitely conjuring this matchup. There was no way they didn't have their hands on this somewhere, but like the people needed it. If we're losing out on a great like that, let's see the greats play each other. Let's
Mhm.
get that nostalgia out of the way, and it's just going to be great. And whether he wins or loses, it's going to be this whole thing that everybody's excited for. So yes, thank you to the tennis higher ups for making this happen.
This is gonna age us like milk, Deej.
Maybe you.
14-year-old Koko Yoshizawa from Japan won the skateboarding women's street competition ahead of fellow teenagers Liz Akama from Japan and Raisa Leal from Brazil. An all-teenager podium in the women's street competition for skateboarding. Number
I'm not
one,
surprised.
yeah, number one, not surprised. Number two, I feel old as hell, but number three, that's really fucking cool.
It's so cool. I remember, what was it? Was this in the last Olympics 3 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but like one, that podium was even kind of young. I think
Mm-hmm.
one or two teenagers from both men's and women's made those podiums, and skateboarding is a little bit of a younger,
Yeah, especially now.
sport, especially now. So like that part doesn't surprise me, but there were rumblings about some of the teenagers coming up that were going to be eligible for this year's Olympics, and it's unfolding right in front of us. Like on the men's side for skateboarding, the teenagers are doing a really good job over there as well. Like, this is one of those sports where I think it allows a little bit more youth to come into things. Like you look at track, like track's a little bit more youthful, but at the same time, a lot of those people are late 20s, early 30s. Same thing for basketball, soccer, hockey. Like a lot of the team sports are so much older because that's when you hit your athletic prime. Is 25 to 35 ish. A little bit different for everybody, but that's kind of the athletic prime. But when you
you defy gravity, it's when you're 12.
Exactly. I said when you look at some of these other sports that are starting to get into the Olympics, their primes are kind of earlier in your life because of how the sport is. So I just like that soccer or skateboarding is going to be one of those newer events that's going to keep bringing in youth, because you're going to see more 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds qualifying for the Olympics, getting into the Olympics, medaling in sports like skateboarding.
Because it was rare, like when we were growing up, that like Ryan Sheckler and Nyjah Houston were like the two that stood out to you as like the youth skateboarders that were just bursting on the scene. It's like, who the hell is this kid? Like they're 15 years old, they're 14 years old, like out here doing what Tony Hawk and Bam Margera and Bucky Lasek are doing. Like that's crazy. Like it should be adults doing this because they're in their athletic prime. Like that's how, when we were growing up, that's how it felt. And it's like you're playing like Tony Hawk's Underground. Every skateboarder that you could play with was in their like mid-20s, early 30s. Now you have a full teenager podium in the women's street competition, no less, which is really cool as well to see women's skateboarding kind of elevate itself to where it is, especially globally. So credit to the all teenage podium for the women's skateboarding street competition. The U.S. women's rugby team opened pool play with a 36-7 win over Japan. Alana Maher and Alex Cedric added tries in the second half for the easy win. They followed that performance with a 24-5 win over Brazil in their second match. And I saw one of the clips of just like, it was like a Kyle Brandt angry run, and everyone was like, whoever the athlete was, they said that they were moving up fantasy football draft boards like no other, because she was running like an absolute beast.
That is hilarious. I need to get around to seeing some more highlights. But yeah, the
dominant wins.
Dominant. She's been dominant though.
Yeah.
Like that's nothing new.
The U.S. women's national team captured its second victory of the games with a dominant 4-1 win over Germany. Team USA concludes the group stage on Wednesday, July 31st against Australia. That's the women's soccer team. So pretty cool to see them succeeding, especially with a lot of turnover on that roster from the players that we have come to know and love in our childhood and growing up. There's a lot of new faces on the U.S. women's national team, including Phillies beat writer Alex Coffey, her sister, on the roster. Alex is in France right now, so pretty cool to have some Philly ties there with Team USA. Some of the other big stories, Leon Marchand, who is being called the French Michael Phelps. He belts the French anthem after winning the 400 IM gold. He's an absolute stud. I'm excited to watch him compete. Also, there's all these alternate broadcasts and everything. It is wild to see Simone Biles sitting down with Alex Cooper.
Did I miss that?
So Alex Cooper has her own broadcast, kind of like Snoop Dogg does and everything, with all the alternative broadcasts and everything. But Alex Cooper is pretty much like the podcasting Oprah now, the way that she has evolved her show from Call Her Daddy at Barstool to now what it is on Spotify. But she sat down with Alex Cooper for a 6-minute, quick hit interview online. That's on the NBC Olympics website page. Just insane, to see all of the different celebrities and everything that are in Paris right now and doing the media thing, whether it's Alex Cooper or Snoop Dogg or Leslie Jones, and then obviously Flavor Flav over there supporting the U.S. women's water polo team like an absolute super fan, and it's awesome what he is doing for them. Because if you don't know, I mentioned it on the last episode, he is sponsoring the U.S. women's water polo team because he found out that multiple members of the team are still paying out of pocket to get training and were paying out of pocket to travel to Paris. So he sponsored the entire team. And I think that's just awesome from Flavor Flav.
I mean, that's amazing. I had no clue that was going on, but it's also very on brand for him. He does a lot that people don't know. That's what I like about Flavor Flav, is a lot of his work that he does to better the community is just done, and it's not broadcasted. And if you come across it, cool, but he's just hey, there's a need. Let me feel it. Let me fill it because I can. And then they're obviously going to be thankful for that, and they're thankful for the opportunity just to play in general. But now to play with no real concerns or barriers, it's definitely going to show in their play. Because there's a big difference between playing and knowing you have to wrestle up this money and do all these things, but then to see somebody else handle that for you, it gives you another sense of motivation. There's that intrinsic motivation they have for having to do it themselves and pay for it themselves. They can't let themselves down. But when somebody else does it, it's okay, now I can't let that person down too, which is just added motivation, which not that they needed it, but is always helpful.
Yeah. Canada fought back to earn a 2-1 win in women's soccer against France. That's a huge win, especially all the controversy around the Canadian women's team with their coach being dismissed and suspended for a year with all the Spygate, I guess you could call it, allegations with drone usage and spying on other teams' practices. So Canada gets a big win there. Greece's men's water polo team beat Romania, and France's women's handball team took down the Netherlands 32-28.
I saw that too. The handball games have been very high scoring affairs. They're all 30-25, within that range, and I'm is anybody playing any defense? Or are we just there? But no, realistically, handball is a little bit easier to score in than people realize. Those games are going to be high scoring.
Yeah, if you like points, watch handball.
Yeah. Or just watch South Sudan play basketball. There's lots of points in their games. But definitely congratulations to them and their basketball team and being able to get their first Olympic victory. That's huge. It's a piece of history. As a lot of people may know, if you're coming over from OTB, our flagship lacrosse program, I won my school's first lacrosse playoff game in team history. That is doing a first for a team and getting in that history is something you never forget. And I can't imagine what it feels like to be from another country,
right?
Like South Sudan, and to do something that country has never done. even if they don't win another game here, they're going to go back and people are going to celebrate them until the end of their lives because they put South Sudan on the map for basketball after only winning one game. Like, it's huge stuff. I'm excited for them, and look forward to seeing them continue to ball. Like, if you can take America to a 1 point game, exhibition or not, and it takes a LeBron James game winner, you got some good stuff down there. And shout out Luol Deng for taking his talents over there and really helping boost the game of basketball in South Sudan.
And he's doing it like everywhere in Africa. Like Joel Embiid started playing basketball because of Luol Deng, like, and because of Al Farouk Aminu and guys like that who have kind of like paved the way. So pretty cool to see. And there's a former Sixers G Leaguer, Mariel Shayok, on the team. So it's cool to see Mariel playing again. Before we get to the medal count, and Deej, I'll let you do the medal count rundown for everybody. I want to talk to everybody about our pals over at FOCO. They are the leaders in Forever Collectibles, and they've got the Team USA collectibles on deck on their website right now, all available for pre-order. They got the tumbler mugs. They've got the regular traditional coffee mugs. They've got little garden gnomes that I know everybody loves to collect those. You can get a Team USA garden gnome to your collection and a whole lot more. They also have officially licensed apparel and merchandise for all the major sports leagues, college basketball, college football, the WWE, entertainment from your childhood like Nickelodeon and Disney and Cartoon Network. You name it, they've got it. Click the link in the description. Check out all the Team USA collectibles and apparel that FOCO has to offer. Gear up for the Olympics with FOCO, and big thank you to FOCO for sponsoring the pod. Deej, let's do the medal count rundown as we wrap up day 2 over in Paris.
This will be much faster than my transfer portal rundown, so you don't have to worry about that. So at the top of the leaderboards, technically Japan with 4 golds. They've also got 2 silvers and a bronze for 7. Australia, 4 golds as well with 2 silvers, no bronze, total of 6. America coming in 3, 6, and 3 for a total of 12. France 3, 3, and 2 for 8, and 3, 2, 1 for the Republic of Korea, giving them 6. That is your top 5. 3, 1, 2 for People's Republic of China, and 1, 2, 3 for Italy. That'll cap out 6 medals totals. Kazakhstan is 1, 0, and 2 for 3 total medals. Belgium's 1, 0, and 1 for 2 total medals.
That is a shocker seeing Kazakhstan like there. Not like, no offense to them, they're just like not a team you would expect to be
so high
in that mix there in the top 10.
Yeah, they're sitting at 8 with the 1 gold medal giving them obviously a big boost in points, but then 2 bronzes giving them 3 total. So
good for them.
Yeah, a great start to the Olympics for them. Germany has 1 gold, 1 medal.
Kind of surprising
Hong Kong,
as well.
China. Yes, Hong Kong, China, also a little bit surprising for me. Just 1 gold, no other medals. Uzbekistan, 1 gold, no other medals. Great Britain, 2 silvers, 2 bronze for 4. Brazil, 1 silver, 2 bronze for 3. Canada, 1 silver, 1 bronze for 2. Fiji has a silver for 1. Kosovo has a silver for 1. Mongolia has a silver for 1. Poland, 1 silver as well. And Tunisia is 1 silver for 1 medal. Sweden has 2 bronze for 2. Egypt has 1 bronze. Egypt, Spain, Hungary, India, Republic of Moldova, Mexico, and South Africa all have 1 bronze for 1 medal.
Pretty solid.
And
rundown.
those are all the countries that have medaled so far.
And I'm sure we'll add more as the days go by. That's just 2 days in, and we've already got 22. More than 22, but a multiple way tie for 22nd in terms of medal count. And I'm sure some of these countries will climb in the standings. Team USA overall leading the medal count total with 12. Good to see there. And we'll keep seeing how, everything plays out and how things shift, because things have already shifted. Australia was in first place after day 1. They're now in second. And, Team USA with the overall medal count of 12. They're the only team with double digits so far through 2 days. That's a good trajectory right there, if I do say so myself. But
28
yeah,
total 28 total countries have medaled so
that's
far.
awesome. Just shows the level of competition and how talented a lot of these nations are. And we will be back tomorrow for more breakdowns, analysis, and just takeaways from day 3 in Paris for the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. And this has been Light the Flame, an Olympics podcast presented by Underground Sports Philadelphia and Shopify. Big thank you to Shopify for helping power our Olympics coverage all summer long. We'll be back tomorrow with another breakdown, and then potentially on Tuesday, we'll be back with a live primetime episode to break down everything that's going down across the Olympic Games. But for DJ, I'm KB. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Light the Flame, an Olympics podcast, and we'll see